on interparty affairs in Ondo State. Mr. Dales Akinbote is from Ondo, and he always tell me that come to AAUA and see life. Now I'm here. Thank you. So our teachers, I must commend you, sir. I must commend you for standing with us, for grooming us, for building the future of this nation in us. This is the only profession, and I still repeat, this is the only profession that is guaranteed in the Constitution. Not even medicine, law, or any other one has a special role spelled out clearly in the Constitution. And that shows the importance of journalism in the world. So if you have found yourself here as a communicator, as a student of mass communication, please clap for yourself. But after you have successfully clapped for yourself, I want to say sincerely that for those who have stood with us, who are imparting us, who have given us that knowledge, we must sincerely appreciate them by clapping for them. Your HOD is here, and past HODs are also sitting with him. We must thank you very much, sir. Like I have said, we might not be able to recognize everybody, but I want to acknowledge everyone here, and I want to sign a note of caution, warning, that please do not expect anything new from me. Everything you want to know about journalism, you have been taught. And quite unfortunately, the opportunity that you have, just like my brothers who came to the podium to come and display, I did not have that opportunity because I never studied mass communication. Obafemi Awolowo University, where I graduated, never runs mass communication. But each time I see mass communication students, I envy them. Because what I met on the field are the things that you have been taught here. There is a difference between learning on the job and getting prepared before the job. Journalism is not just about speaking grammar. It's not just about speaking English. Journalism has its own rules and set of standards. Those who design the Constitution and put your role in the Constitution, they didn't just put it there for fun, because they know the importance, the role that you are going to play in nation building. So if you are here, my brothers and sisters, we are colleagues. I've met a whole lot of students or former students of mass communication department. Either when I was in national bureau, leadership, or leadership, we have had a lot of relationships. And I've seen that what the impact on you here is the best that you can receive anywhere in the world. Don't say because your school is located in Abuja, you cannot compete with somebody from Oxford. You have been handed. What you need is what liberates you. So your role in the Constitution that has been spelled out is to show the importance, your importance to nation building. So if you have clapped yourself before, beyond clapping, think of that role. Think of the responsibility. Think of your importance to nation building. So I welcome you to this lecture. This is an opportunity for us to be able to interact, discuss, and share ideas, share experiences. I do not have anything new to discuss with you, sincerely. In the field of mass communication, you are better than me.
Hello.
But in the field of journalism, I may have the edge over you. And what gives me the edge? It is the little experience I've garnered over you. Our lecturers, sir, and my colleagues who are sitting down here, have been asked to come and discuss good journalism, good news, bad news, ethics of journalism, and public interest. This is the most appropriate topic at this time. It's appropriate because of one particular reason. This is the time when journalism, like never before, is threatened. Journalism is threatened by the advent of technology. Today, everybody assumes the role of a journalist, particularly as long as you have 5 megabytes on your phones. Everybody posts information, either genuine or counterfeit. And everybody owns blog these days. You see a carpenter, he has a blog. Beyond displaying what he sells, what else does he do? He shares information. You go to Facebook, what you see are there are pieces of information that you have not even seen on the conventional platforms. That is the impact of social media, occasioned by the advancements in technology. And that is why I said journalism is threatened. If you look at the statistics, I might not be able to give you the correct statistics. Go and ask how many people are buying newspapers today. The economic hardship, winning reading culture, and a whole lot of challenges have affected the fortune of journalism. So if anybody says I'm a journalist today, you can be easily replaced by even a person who never witnessed or who never visited any higher institution. I do not think that Linda Ikeji read mass communication. I think she read English. I do not think that most of the bloggers that you follow, whether they even study mass communication, they did not. Omojua, who is the lord of the Twitter, I'm not sure he studied mass communication. But they have used your profession to excel in life. And that is why professional journalists are troubled by the activities of these bloggers, of these social media users, who are referred to as citizen journalists. Whether there is something called citizen journalism or not is a story for another day. But what I've come to share with you is to tell you that as you are sitting down here, I know the pay setters, they are sitting down separately, showing up, eager to join the labor market. And you can see the separation. It is a new level. But as I tell you, my brother and my sisters, out there, a whole lot of people who never passed here have taken over your job. They can't take your job that belongs to you. But what I'm saying in essence is the fact that journalism today is, like they call Lagos, no man's land. But should it be the way? We will get to know why we discuss. Like I've said, that my note of warning, that before I commence this presentation, the topic given to me, I'm aware and I know, is an adaptation of a book by an American journalist, a university instructor and social entrepreneur, who is Jeremy Eggers. He was the one who wrote the book, That was 1998. He wrote a book with the title Good News, Bad News, Journalism Ethics and the Public Interest. That book is still available on Amazon online. Though I couldn't get a copy, but I'm aware the book has impacted a lot of people because he had foresight and he was able to at least relate with the future generation what good news, bad news, ethics of journalism, and public interest means. So after we have realized that this topic is an adaptation of that book, it shows, and it has only confirmed, that you should expect nothing new from me. I have only come here to share a bit of my practical experiences on the field of journalism in relation to this theme. But what this topic demands of us is a dissection of the interrelationships among the subjects of good news, bad news, ethics of journalism, public interest, and what constitutes public interest. To make this task easier, we shall make use of copious examples of relevant cases for better understanding. So what you are going to have from me, this is the home of theory. You have been taught a lot of theories here. So I want to be practical. Our fathers will know it more than we do. But we are on the field. So we want to bring the field experience and share with you. Because I am aware that very soon you will come in contact with the same situations. So, what makes a good story? To my audience, if anyone could tell me, what do you think makes a good story? Do you have anybody want to try? What do you think makes a good story? A good news. When you say you hear good news, there is a common language, common interpretation, that when you mention this is good news, maybe somebody has given birth, is that he has given birth and they called you, good news is here. Or somebody dies and you are giving such information, they say yes, that is bad news. In the field of journalism, that is not the interpretation of good news or bad news. So I'm going to give an example of a fair news, a good news, and a bad news. Let us go. I'm not aware, and I want to believe that all of us here came across the BBC video, the latest on sex for Marx scandal that was shot and was shared. It was released on Monday, and the full version was released in the evening of that Monday. On that day, BBC, through a widely circulated video, narrated the story of sexual harassment at both the University of Lagos and the University of Ghana, where 4 lecturers were exposed. Surprisingly, one of the lecturers is a friend of mine. We were in school together. The lecturer at the University of Lagos from the Department of Economics. In fact, we spoke extensively last night. But when you watch the video, it circulated widely, right? And it sparked a kind of reaction. Everybody reacted widely, and the schools also reacted immediately by suspending the lecturers involved. Even in Ghana, one of the lecturers involved in Ghana has threatened to sue BBC. So that is the kind of reaction. And yesterday, the Senate of Nigeria at the National Assembly decided that they were going to reactivate the sexual harassment bill just because of this particular matter. But I want to ask, is that the first time that we will report sexual harassment in Nigeria?
No.
Is that the first time you are reading about the cases of sexual harassment?
No.
Thank you. Like I said here earlier, journalists across many other media platforms had published stories with similar theme. For instance, Premium Times, just September last month, published a more revealing and more damaging story of one HOD at the Federal University of Ekiti, Professor Atere, who impregnated a 16-year-old 100-level student. The student, through a doctor at the General Hospital, Oye Ekiti, that is government public hospital in Oye Ekiti, aborted the pregnancy, and the girl almost died. Reports of various committees indicted the lecturer, and rather than making public the report, the vice chancellor, Professor Kayode Soyemekun, kept the report on the shelf. He also allowed the indicted lecturer to resign, and he also assisted him to secure another job at the Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwo, where today Professor Atere is also lecturing. All these facts, including testimonies and reactions of all concerned personalities, were featured in the report. Let me confess to you that I wrote that report, and we have all the evidences. It was published in September, just September there. Now my question is this. Look at the story I've narrated of HOD impregnating a 16-year-old, and the story shared by BBC. Which one has more human interest, human between the two? The Premium Times story. Maybe not because, let's be sincere, maybe not because I'm here. Let us forget the fact that I work for Premium Times. The lady almost died in the process of the abortion. Two things are involved. The lady involved is a 16-year-old, a minor, which is against the law. Even if she consented, it is still criminal. And we reported it. Now, my question is, between the BBC report and the Premium Times report, which one is more factual? Which one is more factual? How many of you were aware of the Premium Times story? Did you see it? So only our guys saw it. But the BBC report is also not Big Brother Naija, and everybody saw it. That is where we are going, sir. Now let's go down. This is where this subtopic of what makes a good story comes in. You know, I told you that good news is not about somebody gave birth, somebody is getting married, somebody won an award. It is not about good news. The good news we are discussing here in the context of journalism is what makes a good news. And we have shared just two examples. One by BBC, another one. In fact, some people can tell you that the report by BBC is a setup. Some people have argued that it's a setup. But the one by Premium Times actually happened. They did not use fictitious name, no pretense, nothing, but it happened. Now, though I wrote the report published by Premium Times, based on the element of journalism, I will proudly say that the BBC's report is a far better report. And why do I say so? I'm not condemning the report that I wrote, but I'm telling you that based on the element of journalism, BBC's report is far better. It is in the category of a good story. I'm going to explain. Thank you for asking. Now let's go to US, where an American institute, American Press Institute, is a non-profit organization that is focused on advancement of media education in the US. In a treatise published with the above subtitle, "What Makes a Good News?" How a story is told. Did you please listen carefully? How is more important to the audience than the issue it discusses. Do you understand? How a story is narrated is more important to the audience than what is told. How you receive the news is more important to you than what you are told. If I come here and I say, Shola, Oga is calling you. I just told him, he's calling you. He just takes it ordinarily. But I come here and I became more dramatic. And I said, Shola, 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 Shola. Shola, 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 Shola. My Oga, I want to see you. I dramatize it. Will he forget that I deliver such a message? If he did not respond to my first case, and he gets Oga and he said, I didn't even hear. But the second one, with the demonstration, with the illustration, with dramatising style, can he deny that he did not hear? Are you getting the difference? Premium Times published the report. We published the evidences. But how many people saw it? Few people saw it because of the style that was adopted. We placed on the online, we share it on Twitter, we share it on WhatsApp, final. But BBC came to tell the same story, and it assembled a cast. It created signal with impressive sound, with video shots, quality sound, and the delivery style. A lady was narrating a story, just like a drama. We know that Nigerians, we like Nollywood, we like Bollywood. You watch Zero, you want to see something practicalized. That practical experience that they brought in, making it like a stage play, that is what makes the BBC's report a good news. Let's be a bit more theoretical. The center, that is the American Press Institute, says the best story is a well-told tale about something the reader feels is relevant or significant. Because of the way I told my story, you did not even see it. You didn't even know about it. Did you know? No. But BBC wanted to communicate with you and me and communicate with the authorities. They did not write Turenchi anywhere. What did they do? They dramatized it. They showed you video of where those things happened. They went to Ghana and they went to the cold room up there at the Unilag Staff Club. And when I was talking to the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, on the day the thing was released, Professor Ogundikwe, and I said, sir, have you seen this? He said, Majid. He said, Majid, I will get back to you. They were troubled because it had more impact. It went viral. But when I was talking to Professor Kyle Deshorebeku, he did not even feel it. The story was shared with ICPC. ICPC got across to me through their spokesperson, Auntie Rashida Okoduwa, and told me that Majid will work on it. They can decide not to work on it and keep it under the carpet. Why? Because many people did not see the report. But what can be more damaging than having a 16-year-old impregnated, not just harassed? Do we understand? So let us now assume that it is BBC that got the story of Foye. What do you think will have happened to Foye? Did you understand what I'm saying? So the way you narrate your story, the way a story is told, the way the news is told, shows whether it is a good story or not. You can read a story of somebody that dies of hunger and you go your way. You have just read it and you are good. But someone else will come and narrate that story in a way that you will be looking for that person to assist. I could remember, I have a girl who is currently going to 300 level at the University of Ilorin. I was told I just heard, this girl was a very brilliant child. She attended Universal Scholar School in Nota, and she was one of their best students. But you know what happened to this child, this daughter? She was even the one representing them for cowbellpedia competitions. But unfortunately, right from when she was in JS3 SS1, she could not cope again. Her parents could not afford her school fees again. So the school offered her scholarship, automatic. But the parents knew they could not be able to raise money for SSC. They said they didn't see help before then. They knew that she was going to drop out. Then it was better for her to go and enroll as a hairdresser apprentice. So she went from SS1, but she was still combining with school because her friends will not even, because they are learning a lot of things from her. She was the one tutoring her classmates. So she finished and she had perfect result. They assisted her and she was able to sit for the exam. But after the exam, after her SSC, she didn't have anything, nowhere to go. Even where she was learning the hairdressing, they could not get money to give the oga for her to be free. Inside one slum in Nota, she was coping. You understand what I'm saying? The poverty was so terrible. And when I heard the result, the report, I went to look for this girl. Anywhere I drove to that day, and I saw her inside the shop. And when I interacted with this girl, she brought out her bag. Anywhere she goes with her result. That maybe one day I will somebody to help me. Some of our friends who had gained admission, at the stage she stopped picking their course because she was already shy. But when we pick the story, we felt, how do we tell this story that people will understand that truly this girl is fighting poverty? As at that time, the landlord of the parents had told the parents to leave the house. They were about looking for another house. Another challenge now came. And God, good enough, the girl is from Ondo State here. So when we pick the story, we narrated the story of a brilliant student turned hairdressing apprentice. And when we narrated it, we showed clearly how this lady suffers. We now brought out our strength and potential. The day we published the report, I never knew, I'd even forgotten we published something that day. Somebody called from London. The person went to look for my number on Facebook. When they saw my name, searched for me on WhatsApp, on Facebook, and the person called and said, please, I'm in London, I'm calling. I even thought it's one of those fraudsters. And I was just waking up, and I said, please, but I like, because of the stuff I've adopted in the past, I like wasting their credit very well. So I wanted to listen to, because I knew you can't get me, because I'm not greedy, I'm not looking for anything. So when the person called me, he said, please, I read a story that you wrote on so today. I said, what happened? He said, please, do you know the implication of what you have done? I said, I don't know. He said, that is what we call philanthropy or something like that in UK. He said, please, could you link me up with the family? I know their major problem now is how to get accommodation. That he was ready to talk to them, know how much they have raised, and drop the rest. And I connected them. In less than 1 week, this man sent the remaining money for them to get at least 2 rooms in Nota. I didn't know. Then some people now came and they were coming to our site in New Telegraph. Some were saying, this lady said she wanted to study mathematics and nothing more. Some were saying, no, how can you study mathematics? This guy is too brilliant to study mathematics. They were ready to coach her and mentor her. These are lecturers. I've now secured people who said, yes, we are going to sponsor this girl. But what do you know, there was now a foundation. We call it Otuba Yomi Otubela Foundation. He's the owner of Lagoon School in Lagos. And he just had, we had a meeting, and he said, please, can you invite the girl for me? But they do test for anybody they want to assist. The day the girl came for the test, if you see the photo of how she dressed, you would think this lady was already 25 or 30 years, older than her age, looking very awkward. But this lady went and said, they said, we will test you. He said, I'm ready. This is somebody who had left school more than 2 years. They say, even we want to recruit teachers, we will give them 1 week to go and prepare to come and write test. They say, I'm ready. They gave her mathematics test. This lady got more than 80%. And the man called me. He said, Mr. Majid, you have never disappointed me. And today I'm promising that the education of this girl will be on my bill throughout her life. Somebody who had never been to school went ahead for 2 years, went ahead to write UTME.
Hello.
Scored 150 something. And she insisted that she wanted to study mathematics to be able to give back to the society. That she wanted to teach.
Sorry.
Today,
this lady is going to 300 at the University of Ilorin. This man is not only paying the tuition fee, he got private accommodation for her. And the last time when we were together, the lady was crying, saying she didn't know how to appreciate the man. And the result that she sent to me, her first semester, she had A all through except one that she had B. So her name is Usman Bashirat. Her next birthday is October 24. And because I shared her story last year on Facebook when she clocked, I think 20 last year, she was so impressed and she was crying. I visited her